Hey everybody, how you doing? This is RJD2, and I'm just gonna kind of give you a little briefing on what I'm up to. I have a record that just came out in January. It's called The Colossus. It's got a number of guests on it. It's got a Kenna from Virginia Beach, Star Trek. It's got Fonte Coleman from Foreign Exchange, Little Brother. It's got Aaron Livingston, a Philly singer who he sang the hook on Guns Are Drawn by The Roots. It's got The Catalyst, Illogic, NP, 3 rappers from Columbus, Ohio, and a number of instrumentalists. And it's, I guess the point of the record was to sort of be an overview of the different styles of production that I had done over the last 10 years. So there's rappers, and there's sample-based music, and there's live music that's instrumental, and live things with both myself singing and other people singing, working as a vocal producer. So it's a bit of a frenetic experience, but hopefully it all kinds of comes together and it still plays as a relatively cohesive record. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me that, someone wouldn't want to run a label right now. I mean, it's a terrible time to be running a record label. There just isn't record sales there to sustain, I shouldn't say there isn't, but you have to be a very, very special label, be in a very special situation to be able to sustain it. I recently got out of my deal with Aceyalone and got back my masters, and went through the process of starting a label to put this record out. And the whole reason, I went through this whole thing, and the whole reason that it made sense for me was that I'm gonna have very, very low overhead. Essentially, I was gonna contract people out to do the work for the particular records, but I'm not gonna have a staff that's on salary year round. And it's primarily a vessel for me to put out my own records, which I think is, for me, the most sensible solution. I'm not trying to be, I've seen basically where other labels have, failed might not be the right word, but hit a wall or had hard times, and some of them have failed and gone out of business. And it's always directly related to overhead. It's always directly related to staffing and office space, commercial real estate space. And those are two things that I'm not going to have to deal with. So, we'll see. I mean, knock on wood, I'd like to think that this is the way that I'm going about this is, if it's not sustainable this way, there's no way it can be done for somebody like me, because I'm approaching this at the most, very bare bones and sustainable way possible. That's the thing, is I don't currently, we'll see, I wouldn't rule it out, but it would have to be a very right situation. I don't see, I spent so long having a boss that I'm very reticent to be someone else's boss. I kind of got myself into this situation, so I didn't have somebody to answer to. So having someone else that's got to answer to me, or, you know what I mean? I'm not too thrilled about that idea, but who knows? We'll see. Things, it's possible. I wouldn't rule it out. I think the most important tool that I have at my disposal is the MPC sampler, the Akai sampler that I use in the show and I also use in the studio. It's a lot of, most of the time it's kind of the central piece or the heartbeat of any particular song I'm working on, mostly because I just know it better than anything else. So I'd say that, and then Pro Tools, just standard computer recording program is that those two are the most critical things for me, because if I'm not doing sample-based music, everything in Pro Tools, I'm building stuff up using live instrumentation, drums and keyboards, and so on and so forth.